Hi there everyone, and welcome to our third episode on the Lord's Prayer. And the line we're looking at today is, "Give us this day our daily bread." Give us this day our daily bread. What a simple statement, and yet to unpack it gets us into amazing territory indeed. Give us this day our daily bread. I don't know about you, but sometimes I think we live in a food-obsessed culture. Think for a moment of all the books that there are on cooking and baking. I'm quite sure you have quite a few on your shelves at home. Everyone has, and you go to the shops and you see masses of books on cooking. And then all the articles you get in magazines and newspapers, TV programs, YouTube clips. We've got celebrity chefs. We have competitions by the barrel load, all around food. Jamie Oliver, in one of his programs, was cooking for a group of Roman Catholic priests in Italy. And as he was talking to the camera, he said, "Well, of course, food is my religion." I think a stranger from another planet might look at us and think, I don't know what the religion is, but it has to have something to do with food, because it's everywhere. And that's a good place for us to start. Because if we think about the extravagance, for example, of supermarkets, none of us stop to think about that. We get out of the car, we go in, we get our trolley, we go in the hustle and bustle to get what it is we're looking for, and of course we always come out with things that we hadn't got in for, because whilst we're there, we'll make the most of it. But next time you go to a supermarket, think about it. Go in and just pause for a moment to reflect on how someone from a very poor part of the world, deprived part of the world, would think walking into that supermarket. Or indeed someone from earlier periods of history, seeing a supermarket for the first time. How many items are in our average supermarket? There's every variety of food and flavourings and combinations. There's pre-cooked and post-cooked food. It's all there in abundance. It's an incredible spectacle. But we take it all for granted. We have a service once a year in the church called Harvest Thanksgiving, which is a wee bit of an anomaly and an anachronism now. Because who's thankful for the harvest? Once upon a time, in the villages like Killin and Balquhidder and all around about, the Harvest Thanksgiving service meant something. Because if the harvest was in, there was food to eat in the winter. So when the community went to church for that service, boy did it mean something. But now we have the harvests of the world. And we in the West are so lucky, because being so dominant, we've just drained so much of the resources from the developing world, in fact globally, for our own indulgence. And in many ways, you could say that Harvest Thanksgiving is an anomaly and an anachronism. Yet, maybe even if once a year we paused for thought about food issues, we might think differently. The same is true saying grace at the table and being grateful for what we have. The problem in the developed world is we've had it so good for so long, but that has often been at the expense of others. Many years ago, I did a lot of research in preparation for a talk I was doing at the Greenbelt Festival on food issues related to justice and the environment. And it was amazing and also shocking and shameful for me to learn the statistics. That what I was privileged to in the displays surrounding me in the supermarket came with a price. And often that was at the cost of environmental issues, but also the cost to the poor of the world, where there was exploitation. And our extravagance and our overconsumption our rapacious appetite for so many things had consequences for other people. And as a person of faith, I realised that was important to think about. Now this prayer, give us this day our daily bread, is so simple. It's being thankful for what we have to eat. Now perhaps in this time of pandemic, we've found ourselves living a little bit more simply, being grateful for what we have. I would hope so. And I hope we don't lose that. I hope we can cultivate that in the time that lies ahead. Not maybe having the access to the shops that we had used to have before lockdown has meant maybe our diet has been simpler and more basic. There is such a thing called delayed gratification. Sometimes to wait for something, a wee treat, something special, makes us even more grateful. And this prayer is about gratitude, daily gratitude. Give us this day our daily bread. So today and in the days that lie ahead, when we eat, just say a wee prayer of gratitude. And if you're not into prayer, just have a quiet moment and be grateful you've got food in front of you, because some people don't have that. But this prayer is also a symbol of something else. In a spiritual sense, the daily bread is what God can give us spiritually too. And as they say, God never gives us too much. He gives us grace for the moment, bread for the journey in life. Again, just for our needs, not for all our wants. No extravagance here, just enough to keep us on the straight and narrow, enough to make us feel blessed. So remember these things. A simple prayer, give us this day our daily bread. It's practical in the sense of food, and it's spiritual in the sense of God's grace. Once again, thank you for listening, and may God be with you. See you tomorrow.